Hi again, this is Brian Rance from ColoradoHouseChurch.com, and this is the second part of a two-part series where we're talking with John White about Luke 10:2 and some of the fruit that has borne in the lives of some of the church planters here in Denver. In the last one, we talked about what Luke 10:2 is and the idea of praying through that, praying for workers for the harvest. But I wanted to ask you, John, about how God used that verse to lead you and some other to build a community around that concept.
Well, Brian, what we found was that as we were praying that verse, that the Lord of the harvest really did and has been sending out workers into the harvest. We're seeing people being raised up all over the place in this country and around the world who are starting house churches and who feel called to be a house church planter, to be sort of an apostolic church planter. So about a year ago, we realized that a lot of these people are kind of still trying to figure out what they're doing. A lot of them feel alone. They're not connected to anybody else. We felt like the Lord told us to start a virtual community. It would be an environment where these folks could, number one, learn from each other, and number two, could connect with one another.
And who better than tech-savvy guy like you, right?
That's my forte. And so with the help of some other tech-savvy people who really know what they're doing, about a year ago we started a community which we call Luke 10. You can look it up online with lk10.com. We started with about 4 guys, and the word got out. And people all around the world have signed up. Today we have about 350 members. Again, the goal is to give people an opportunity to learn from each other. We call it a community of practice. So there's no expert because, in a sense, we're all experts.
Yeah.
So people who join have access to the members part of the webpage, and there is a discussion forum where there are conversations going on about everything imaginable having to do with Simple Church or House Church. There's also a Google map there, and on the map you can find Luke 10 members all kinds of different places. About 80% are in the U.S., but there are 25 other countries that are represented. On the front page, there is a document that anybody can read called the Luke 10 Invitation, and that outlines 7 practices that we think are critical for planting simple churches. And so anyone who can read those things, and if you feel like that's the journey that you want to be on, then you register and become a member of Luke 10.
Excellent. Well, 2 questions. First off, what is a topic that has been especially hot on the forum, gotten a lot of response, a lot of interaction? And second, what's a story of a connection or something like that resulted as a part of this community you're building?
Great. 2 topics come to mind. One is we just did a little video clip here on the 10-2B prayer. And we have a whole section on the website where people tell 10-2B stories, how they're praying that way, answers that God has brought. And it's very inspiring to hear just amazing stories of the Lord of the harvest sending these people out and making connections with people who have been praying. Another topic that's been real hot recently is, what do you do with children in Simple Church?
Absolutely.
Almost every house church has to deal with that, and there's input from probably 15 or 20 people on different ideas about how to deal with children. The second question you asked, connections.
Yeah.
One of the ones that was real encouraging recently is we had a guy sign up from Cape Town, South Africa. And he said, I'm a pastor of a traditional church. I feel like we're supposed to move into house church, but I need some help. I need some people to coach me in that. And I went on our website, looked at the Google map. There were 2 other Luke 10 members in Cape Town. And so I was able to connect this guy with them. They wrote me back a couple of weeks later. He had invited one of those guys to come and train his leaders. And it was just so encouraging to have that opportunity to connect people on the other side of the world.
Absolutely. Well, that's part of what we do at ColoradoHouseChurch.com is try to connect people. We have a map. If your church isn't on there, send us an email. We'd love to get you on there. And we try to be kind of a 101, 201 kind of level as far as introducing the concepts of house church and providing opportunities for learning. But if you're a house church planter or you just simply really want to dive in the deep end of what God's doing right now using Acts-style church, I would encourage you to go to lk10.com. Read the invitation. A lot of people in our community have joined it, and it'll really allow you to sink your teeth into some of the deeper matters. So anyway, thanks again, John, for doing these interviews, and look for more interviews and stories to come. If you have a question or know of a great story that you just think other people need to know about, please go to the website, contact us, and thanks again.